Okay, so we've talked about Kyrie enough. Let's talk MVP. So I listen to a few people when it comes to basketball, and a few of those people I used to hold in high regard, but the older and older I get, the less and less I'd be like, oh man, here they go talking that nonsense. So Luka is the favorite for MVP. He is the betting favorite for MVP. I, the Mavericks are not a favorite to win the championship, nor are they the favorite to win the West. And I'm not the most Vegas fluent guy, but here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that Vegas is putting out an MVP candidate that people can rally behind and throw a bunch of money on, and they're just going to lose.
He was the favorite last year too.
And he showed up fat. And I just think that they again, this is just some half baked theories. Just that Vegas is like people will look at Luka's numbers, they'll look at the way he's grown as a player, and they're just gonna toss a bunch of money on Luka because he has the best odds, and they don't expect Luka to win it, and they're just gonna eat that money because they'll pay out more on some of the long shots or the person who will probably end up winning the MVP. But I just again, me guessing that there's probably less money coming in, a lot less money, significantly less money coming in on the person who's probably going to win. So, EB, do you think Luka has a legitimate case for MVP moving forward? If so, please make it for me.
Most definitely. And I don't think he's going to win it, but does he have a case? Definitely. His numbers are there. People like him. He's fun. There's a lot of voter fatigue with other people that are going to be in the running with him. So when you say is he going to win it? I don't think so, because it's really saying he's going to it's him versus the field. I would take the field because there's more people, but he's definitely in the running. But when you think about it, his team is probably going to finish fifth at best in the West. I think they're probably going to finish like sixth or seventh.
Yeah.
And they've kind of gotten over dudes with great stats whose teams are finishing around sixth or seventh because they've done that too many times before. So that's why I don't think he's going to win, because his team won't have the production. But he puts up the numbers. He's a likable dude. I definitely think he will be in the conversation. It's not outlandish to have him as a favorite and as the favorite. I just don't think he will win it. But
Hey,
there's definitely a case to be made.
Question for you, Parlay Pete. Do you think Luka makes his teammates better?
I think he definitely elevated the Mavericks the moment he got there. And I look at it this way, just because even when I bet on basketball during the regular season, uh, Kristaps Porzingis, misses games. Of course, we know this, right? That's kind of a common story with his career too. He's an injury-prone player, and the Mavericks were still winning games. Guys were stepping up. Luka, practically averages a triple double with 30 points. He's a fucking baller. There's no mistake in that. We know that. And kind of like what EB just said, it isn't outlandish to think that he can win it. But at the same time, I just pulled up the odds just so I could get a look at it. He's the favorite at plus 400, and the second closest is Joel Embiid at plus. Well, they got this a little out of order. Giannis is actually second at plus 650.
Throw both of those out there. Terrible.
And that's a guy that's won 2 of the last 3.
Fatigue.
And one, he didn't win Defensive Player last year, but he did that 2 years ago. He won both in the same year. I just look at it kind of as one of these things. It's always going to be about when you start picking MVPs before the season even starts. First of all, we got health, of course, which that's with everybody. And the grind of the NBA season, they're coming off a shorter year, right? Shorter off season, and still kind of reeling from the past 2 years of basketball with COVID. And, Luka is the youngest of all the people. So, of course, he would be, by that standard, the most healthy, right?
But he played in the Olympics.
He's got the freshest legs. And then it probably helps that he showed out in the Olympics too. Like, you know what I mean? You're going to add all these factors into why Luka's the favorite. Do I think that he should be the favorite? No. Giannis should be the favorite because he just came off being the best player in the NBA. He won the title. He won final. He dropped fucking 50 points in a game 6. Giannis should be the favorite. He's won 2 of them already. He should be the favorite. Do I think he's going to win it? No, because I don't think that Milwaukee's going to repeat. But if you come in with just the expectations, if I had to pick somebody myself, and that's just if I was a gambler, man, I would probably go out and say it's going to be Steph. And that's just because I expect Clay to be back healthy and Wiseman's going to be back. And I think that he's going to take a step in his game. Wiggins now is in would this be year 3?
Wiggins, yeah, year 3 there. Yeah.
Year 3 there. Kerr is a good coach, contrary to popular belief, just because he's got all that talent. He's still a basketball guy himself. That's the type of guy that I would place my money on. His odds are at plus 700. I think that Steph's going to give you the numbers. The Warriors they're going to – are we going to be doing – we're about to be doing predictions here soon, right?
Yeah. That's
Right.
That's the next segment that I got.
But Steph is the type of person that I would want to put those type of bets on. Somebody I know isn't going to miss too many games, even though he gets injured too, it seems like. But I think with a healthy Clay, I don't see why not. You know, that's who I would put my money on. But Giannis should definitely be the favorites. But it's also not outlandish that Luka is the favorite, and I could see him winning it too.
How much cheddar would you guys put on a Donovan Mitchell MVP?
None. He just had
it on
Giannis.
Record.
Yeah,
Giannis or Steph, really.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree with Steph.
It really is down to 2 guys, and maybe KD. Especially
KD and James Harden are going to cannibalize votes from each other.
Yeah, if Kyrie doesn't play, maybe one of them. Because you got to look at it.
You can't see Donovan Mitchell averaging 27 a game and then being the 1 seed again.
27, 8, and 6. No, I don't see it. They just had the best record in the NBA, and I don't think he got a vote. So, no. And I know he got hurt at the very end of it, but he was never even in the conversation. Nobody was talking about him. It was a 3-man race the whole year. It was Steph, Embiid, and Jokic.
Joker.
No. Yeah. LeBron was in that before he got hurt.
He was.
And LeBron, okay, well, the second post All-Star break, it was a 3-man race.
Okay. So here's something interesting about that, and we're not getting to our predictions yet, but our guy, and I'm not even going to get into our Atlanta conversation yet, but we're talking about these awards and whatnot. You know, Trae Young gets no all NBA respect. But if you go back and you look at the numbers, and then you go, oh, they were a 5 seed, and then you watch the playoff, you go, Trae Young's going to be all NBA this year if the Hawks are a top 5 seed in the East just because of last year. And the reason he didn't get all NBA this last season was because of the season before where he got an all-star game and the media didn't like him being an all-star starter because his team wasn't good. And so they had to be like, yeah, he gets no all-NBA votes. But he was like 25-9, and he was a top 5 seed. And you go, that's all NBA play right there. If you look at the second half of that season, once they made the coaching change, you look at that record, you go, that's all NBA play right there. And again, Eric, EB, when we watched him play against Bron at Staples, right? You know, we were just there. You remember how like LeBron controlled the game, and you go, dang, this dude is better than I thought he was until like, because I saw him in person. When I watched the Hawks lose the game 6 to Philly, when I tell you when Trae wanted a bucket, he got it. And it wasn't just the threes, right? It's I need to hit a floater. I'm going to put Embiid on my hip, and I'm going to get a floater. Ben Simmons, I'm going to put you on my hip. I'm going to get a floater. You know what? Y'all got a 6-point lead. Let me hit this 3 real quick and get this crowd going crazy. And look at Quavo's diamond start dancing. You can see them shits from the nosebleed. And I go, he's doing that thing that you don't see on TV, but you see in person. Like, I remember when I went and saw KD play in person against the Hawks. It was the post Joe Johnson years. We still had Jeff Teague and Al Horford, though. And we were in college, actually. And I went and saw him. I go, oh, KD score. He really scores when he wants to. Like it's not a oh, I score when I get the ball or when I can. No, KD scores when he wants to. And I saw that same thing in Trae Young. And because of that season, I think Trae Young is going to have that same cachet. But I said all of that to say that because Utah was the 1 seed, hey, just look for a Donovan Mitchell narrative.
It's not going to happen.
I stole that from somebody, by the way.
It isn't, and you have to be so dominant to win in like a place like Giannis is dominant in Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying? Like there was some domination factor there. Karl Malone won, right? He won it twice in Utah. Yeah, he's the second fucking leading scorer in NBA history. Jazz were finishing first, in that late '90s era, obviously losing to Jordan, but it's gonna take a lot for a guy like Spider to get it.